The disgusting truth about sexuality in the Middle Ages. We often romanticize medieval times, images of royalty, chivalrous knights, and exploration. However, there were some absolutely disgusting things that happened during the Middle Ages. Rules on sex. Christianity and the church were the center of power in medieval society. This led to some interesting rules laid out by the church about how couples should go about having sex. Some of the more notable rules include only having sex on certain days and during the night, not being fully undressed, only having sex once, and avoiding kisses, anal sex, or oral sex. Rimming everywhere. As one song by Chris Brown said, "Gotta eat the booty like groceries." Although there were some hard rules about sex in the Middle Ages, there were also some notable exceptions. For example, male homosexuality was a huge sin. However, lesbianism was regarded as a minor sin. One thing that had no rules, however, was anilingus or rimming. Medieval manuscripts show plenty of examples of rimming. Interestingly, some historians have said that these examples were meant to be comedic instead of erotic. Specifically, historians say that in medieval times, rheas were viewed as sinful and dirty, so kissing them wasn't meant to be erotic. It also stands to reason, though, there was some rimming happening. Leeches. We've all heard about medieval medicine and humours. For a quick recap, humours were bodily fluids that had to remain balanced for good health. Another quirk of medieval medicine was its view on women. Virgin women were regarded far more highly than non-virgins. There were actually virginity tests. One of these tests involved checking the bedsheets after a man and woman had sex for the first time. If there was blood or the woman's cherry was popped, she passed. One way non-virgins actually passed this test was by putting leeches into their vaginas to ensure lots of blood flow. So far, we've covered some strange facts about sex in the Middle Ages. Things like the prevalence of rimming to strange methods for women deceiving their husbands. There's still far more things to talk about though, like did you know lesbianism was thought of as a medical issue? Medieval lesbians. We've already talked about how the church thought of lesbianism as a minor sin compared to homosexuality between men. However, lesbianism in the Middle Ages was actually thought of as a medical issue. Specifically, it was thought that if a woman went so long without having sex with a male, semen would build up in her. It was then thought that this would lead to women developing a penis, which would lead them to become lesbians. So how was this condition treated? Midwives would help women reach an orgasm through putting on a hot poultice. This would drain the seed and prevent any female homosexuality. Loaves of bread. During the Middle Ages, however, medieval women specifically got creative when it came to masturbation. One of the known ways medieval women masturbated was with bread. They would break loaves of bread until they were incredibly hard, then use them as dildos. All of this was done in secret, however, to avoid having to pay penance for masturbation. That's certainly one way to play with yourself. Impotence and divorce. In the modern day, it's not unheard of for couples to separate due to not being sexually satisfied. In the Middle Ages, though, things were cranked up to 11. The only reason couples were ever allowed to have sex was to have a child. Any other sex was viewed as a sin that required penance. However, things got interesting if a man was physically unable to birth a child. If a man was impotent, his penis would actually be investigated by the church. If things continued to not work, then the church would actually separate the man and the woman.